Alright, we are wrapping up the first hour with Latino Heat. Eddie Guerrero, backed by the ninth wonder of the world, Chyna, set to face the excellence of execution, Bret the Hitman Hart, backed by Jim the Anvil Neidhart at ringside.
The following contest is set for one fall, with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, accompanied by the ninth wonder of the world, Chyna, from El Paso, Texas, weighing 223 pounds, Latino Heat, Eddie Guerrero.
Latino Heat, since reuniting with Chyna, has been on a pretty good roll in the Legends division, and tonight, Eddie Guerrero hits something of a plateau, possibly, as he faces the excellence of execution. In a battle of light heavyweights that's gonna be a fine conclusion to the first half of tonight's show. It'll be Eddie's high-flying and lying, cheating and stealing against one of the all-time greatest technical wrestlers anywhere, and calling a winner here is nearly impossible.
Not for me, it ain't. Buck Morton said from El Paso, Texas, and that was absolutely all I needed to hear. I am 100% behind Mr. Latino Heat in this matchup, much as I like Bret the Hitman Hart and everything.
His opponent, accompanied by Jim Neidhart from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, weighing 226 pounds, Bret the Hitman Hart.
And on the flip side, the Hitman's been on something of a dry spell. We haven't seen much of him, and the last time we did, he got whomped by Rob Torres. I don't know how well he's going to do against Eddie Guerrero, but he's definitely on an even playing field. Both these guys light heavyweights, both these guys technically gifted. It's going to be a tough call, but I think Eddie Guerrero is going to pull it out. All right, a couple of legendary light heavyweights wrapping up our first hour tonight. Wow, Chyna looks fantastic this evening, doesn't she? All right, here we go. Charles Lucero rings the bell. They come center ring. They lock up, collar and elbow. Bret Hart goes behind, rear waist lock on Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero responds with a snapmare into a rear headlock, and it drives a knee into the back of the Hitman. Kick to the midsection from Eddie Guerrero. Up goes the excellent execution into a little bitty power bomb. Not bad at all. Eddie Guerrero with a standing drop kick takes the Hitman down again. Bret the Hitman Hart catches an elbow to the chest. Jim the Anvil Neidhart got to be a little bit concerned as Eddie Guerrero makes his way to the top turnbuckle. Bret the Hitman Hart on one knee. Eddie Guerrero waiting for him to stand all the way up, changes his mind about it. Well, okay. Inverted atomic drop from Bret the Hitman Hart, who responds with a hard right. Got Eddie Guerrero up on the top turnbuckle. Oh, this is going to be bad news. Big time arm drag off the top rope from the Hitman. Bret goes for the cover. 1, 2, almost a 2. Eddie Guerrero sits back up. Bret the Hitman Hart can't believe it. Clubbing overhand right, fails to find the mark. Bret connects with a right. One arm drag from Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero with a spinning uppercut right there. Rounds up the excellence of execution. Kick to the midsection. Winds up the arm. Eddie Guerrero going to take the Hitman walkies. Takes himself up to the top rope, and another beautiful top rope arm drag from Latino Heat. Oh yeah, Eddie Guerrero's primed, and my fans in Atlanta are loving it. The Hitman out on the apron. Eddie Guerrero looks like he's going to bring him in the hard way with a long vertical suplex. Eddie Guerrero rounds up Bret Hart. Bret Hart shoves him away. Eddie Guerrero right back on the attack. Escorts Bret the Hitman Hart to the ropes. Hard whip to the opposing ropes. Eddie Guerrero slips under. Wow, that was cute. Big time Hurricane Rana. He got some air on Bret the Hitman Hart on that one. Bret the Hitman Hart not offering a whole lot of offense here. Eddie Guerrero's got him up, slams him face down. Oh man, that was gory, if you get the joke. Anyway, Eddie Guerrero with a stomp to the midsection. Winds up the arm of Bret the Hitman Hart and snaps it for good measure. Bret the Hitman Hart taking a whole lot of unanswered offense. A kick to the midsection from Eddie Guerrero. Eddie's got him up again. He's going to do it a second time. Slams him face down to the canvas. The ninth wonder of the world, Chyna, looking on as Eddie Guerrero, who has been very, very hot since reuniting with Chyna. is doing pretty good for himself here. I've never seen Bret the Hitman Hart get like so abused so quickly. Eddie Guerrero with a boot to the chest and a knee to the throat of the Hitman. Bret Hart counters with a jawjacker. We might finally see some offense here. Jumping Bulldog takes Eddie Guerrero down to the canvas. Bret the Hitman Hart going for the cover, hooks the leg, but not even a one. Eddie Guerrero kicking out of that one right quick. Stomp to the back of the head from Bret the Hitman Hart. The Hitman rounds up Eddie Guerrero by his ears and slams him right back down. Whoa. Huh. The Hitman finally starting to come alive here. Eddie Guerrero counters with a kick to the midsection. And whoa! Did you see the elevation on that dropkick? That was crazy. Bret the Hitman Hart makes his way back inside the ring. Rounds up Eddie Guerrero. Running Bulldog. Takes Latino Heat down. Bret the Hitman Hart finally starting to come alive here. After taking a lot of heat early on. Standing dropkick from Eddie Guerrero takes him down. Bret the Hitman Hart once again on the canvas and in trouble. Bret the Hitman Hart counters Eddie Guerrero with an elbow to the leg. Eddie Guerrero counters with a shot to the chest. Eddie Guerrero rounds up Bret the Hitman Hart again, and he's going to go for it. No. Wait a minute. Oh, crucifix powerbomb. And Bret the Hitman Hart is laid out face down on the canvas. Latino Heat rounds him up, kick to the midsection. He's got him all the way up. Whoa, man, brainbuster. Eddie Guerrero on fire this evening. Covers, hooks the leg, 1, 2, and only a 2. Bret the Hitman Hart sits himself back up. At some point, Bret the Hitman Hart has just gone beast. Eddie Guerrero takes him down with a chop block to the leg. And that just about took the wind out of Bret the Hitman Hart's sails. Eddie Guerrero moves in on the Hitman. Hard Irish whip to the ropes. Eddie Guerrero slips through the back door, and there's another Hurricane Rana with some beautiful elevation on the Hitman. Whatever rally Bret the Hitman Hart might have been planning on building is fading fast. Bret shoves Eddie Guerrero back. Standing dropkick takes Eddie Guerrero down. Bret the Hitman Hart needs to do something hot, quick, and in a hurry here. Eddie Guerrero has him up over in that crucifix position again, and oh man, another sit-out powerbomb from Latino Heat. Bret the Hitman Hart. This just is not the Hitman's night. Uppercut from Eddie Guerrero. Bret Hart rounded up to his feet again. Fireman's carry from the excellence of execution. Rounds him up. Eddie Guerrero catches a snap suplex from Bret the Hitman Hart. The Hitman trying to rally the fans here in Atlanta, and he needs all the help he can get. He's not doing too hot tonight. Eddie Guerrero with a shoulder to the midsection, and he rolls him up for a pin. How about this? 1, 2. Wow, Eddie Guerrero is absolutely lit up. Tries to get him up for a bear hug. Bret the Hitman Hart nails him with a clubbing overhand right. Misses with the clothesline. Nails him with a standing dropkick. Guerrero quickly back up on his feet, though. Eddie Guerrero whipped to the ropes, and elbow takes him down. Bret the Hitman Hart with the last gasp here. Catches a kick from Eddie Guerrero. And another beautiful high standing dropkick takes the Hitman down. Latino Heat all the way up on the top turnbuckle. Here we go. Frog splash, but no, knees to the midsection instead. The Hitman a little bit too quick on that one. A couple of rights. Nails Eddie Guerrero. Guerrero whips Bret to the ropes. Shoulder tackle. Flying shoulder. Takes the Hitman down. Standing drop kick to the back of the head from Latino Heat. Bret quickly back up on his feet. Eddie Guerrero countered by Bret the Hitman Hart. A snapmare from the Hitman. A elbow to the back of the head of Eddie Guerrero. And Jim the Anvil Neidhart liking what he's seeing right now. Eddie Guerrero shoves him away. Kick to the midsection from Bret the Hitman Hart. He's got him up. Eddie Guerrero counters with an elbow to the back of the head. He's got, snap suplex. And, look at here we go. The three amigos. The tripleta, the trifecta. 3 suplexes in one. And Bret the Hitman Hart is down. Here we go. 1, 2. And again, no, the Hitman refusing to give up the ship here. And Eddie Guerrero's been doing the best he can. Bret the Hitman Hart has not looked too hot this evening. The Hitman counters with the right. Misses with the crossbody. Guerrero rounds him up. Kicks to the head, takes the Hitman down again. And Latino Heat Absolutely on fire right here. Bret the Hitman Hart out on the outside on the apron. Eddie Guerrero brings him in the hard way with a long vertical suplex right center ring. And now Latino Heat, with the Hitman laid out just about center ring, takes himself up topside one more time. Here it is, the frog splash. Eddie Guerrero covers 1, 2. Well, now Eddie Guerrero picking up a win over Bret the Hitman Hart by pinfall. Let's get the official time.
The time, 8 minutes and 27 seconds. Your winner by pinfall, Eddie Guerrero.
Unbelievable. I don't know what's up with Bret Hart, but Eddie Guerrero just made the excellence of Bret's execution null and freaking void. I mean, Latino Heat went all kinds of ham. I'm the Hitman, and he's got no alibi. A stellar win for Eddie, and a crushing, yes, crushing, defeat for Bret Hart. I say again, unbelievable.
I had figured this match to not only run longer than it did, but I also was expecting a bit more competition from Bret Hart. But even the best stars can have an off night, and unfortunately tonight wasn't for the Hitman.
I too have had my off nights, gentlemen, and I must tell you, I do not like having an off night. Bret the Hitman Hart damn sure had one this evening. That wraps up the first half of tonight's RWL Snarl, and we'll be back with Hour 2 right after this brief intermission. Hope you're still here when we get back.